everyone. Welcome to In Good Company, episode 8. This is Evelyn.
And this is Shanti.
What's up? This is Aizy. Thank you so much for joining us again. You know what? How have you guys been? It's been a minute. I missed you guys. It feels so good to be in good company.
Always in good company. I've been feeling great. Yeah, I've been doing good. I think overall, working, hustling, working out, reading, trying to heal myself in every way possible that I can. So I've been trying to keep myself been on top of my stuff lately. But what about you guys?
I just been working, saving. I don't even go out like that no more in the weekends. I don't even, we're all drinking, but I don't even drink like that no more. But
hey, liar, liar, pants on fire.
Hey, you caught me sipping.
Hey, I caught you sipping. Period.
But yeah, just same old. I've been with family, you know, same thing that I always do.
Yeah, I just came back from DC on Wednesday. So, you know what? I feel like just super recharged. It was such a great trip. I had an opportunity to actually enjoy it and kind of hang out with my friends. My company paid a lot of money for me to have real good time. So, shout out to you guys, my AKA my sugar daddies. But, hey, shout out to him because he does approve my travel requests. And shout out to him because we did turn up the hardest together. And let's just say I'm still recovering. Have you guys ever turned up so hard that you had like capillaries in your eyes?
No, but ruptured? You just had a photo. I saw that. It never happened to me.
I literally had it looked like freckles, but they were red all over my eyes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was like, is this alcohol poisoning? Like I literally couldn't believe it. Yeah, I have never experienced that before. I'm like, is this what 25 looks like? Like, damn, your bounce back is be bouncing hard. Let's just say I hit the pavement and couldn't get back up. Yeah, it was hard.
Yeah, when I can't hang out at all. But when I've gotten so bad where I'm just like, I'm not going to drink ever again. And then it's happening again. I'm like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, but I would never say that. I would never say I'm never going to drink again because I know a bitch is lying.
I stopped lying. Hey, when I was on hungover on that Monday, I was like, no, God, please, I won't drink anymore this week. Hey, it's Saturday.
Yeah, next 24 hours, I won't. I promise.
This week in DC though. Hey, I'm back in California, so it's different. The rules don't apply here.
I don't know how y'all do in California, but that's true.
It's giving, yeah.
East Coast, West Coast, we're from every coast.
We're not the same. Whoa. Hey, West Coast is still better. But you know what? I think in the East Coast, what they do have is a lot more diversity in terms of Latinos.
Oh, they do.
The East Coast? Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yes. They have Dominicans, Cubanos, Puerto Ricans,
a lot of Salvadorians. They have Guatemaltecos. Like, they have a lot of Ethiopians, too. I feel like I saw a lot of well, they're not Ethiopians, but I saw a lot of Ethiopians.
Dude, New York is just straight diverse. Like, you meet people from, like, Cuba, Colombia, Venezuela, Argentina. And, honestly, on top of that, you also meet people from Europe. Like, it's just so diverse out there. Like, you really think... Sometimes I'd be thinking, like, oh, California's... It is pretty diverse, but it's a lot of Mexicans. There's a lot of Mexicans.
Whoa, you said it though.
Maybe this was Mexico though. Yeah. Los Angeles, San Francisco, you know.
No, and
Fontana, Rancho, Cucamonga.
Hell no.
Palos Verdes.
Palo Verdes, like literally.
No white man came out with that, you know.
Like, nah.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of like very, very diverse of different places, I would say like New York when I went, it's a lot more.
Yeah.
But it's cool though. You learn about all these people and their cultures, and coming all together is pretty cool too because you learn about each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. New York is cool. Like they're like when you really think of a city like hustle culture, like no one sleeps. Like that's literally New York.
Yeah. Like, and I think on top of that, it's like you literally get moved by the people around you.
Yeah.
So I feel like right there because I may or may not be moving there in August. Whoa.
Oh, may not.
Birthday, baby.
Hey, I don't want you to leave. I'm like,
I'm like, whoa. Are you though?
Yeah. So it's I'm super excited for it to meet all these people, to try new things, and honestly, I'm coming straight up like not really knowing too many people out there, but I think that's what's exciting for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect. I don't know who I'm gonna meet.
Do you think the Evelyn from 5 years ago would have thought she would have moved out of California far from her family? Like the Evelyn in college or like
well, I feel like I always knew I wanted to move, like experience something far away. But was I determined? I was like, am I gonna make the decision? I was always scared to make that decision, but now I'm very like finalizing my decision. I'm like, I know I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I think little me would be quite surprised, like, oh shoot, you really did that, but not surprised in a way like I didn't see it coming. Like I saw it coming, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I knew you were capable of doing that. I knew you were gonna do that. So
that's brave.
I think
have you ever thought of moving far?
Yeah.
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 Oh. Really?
Honestly, I tell my family that too, and they're just like, "Estás loca," or like, "Es bien, how do you say,
Atrevida.
atrevida," and I'm just like, I don't know, dude. I feel like at this age, when am I ever gonna be this young again? When am I ever gonna experience this again in my life? You know, every year I'm constantly growing, and I'm going through different phases of my life, and something in my gut tells me like, you have to be out there. I don't know what's out there, but I just feel like
you
I
want to experience life.
Yeah. And I don't want to be 80 years old, 70 years old, and be like, was I left with the thought? Was I ever left with the thought? I wonder how it would have been if I would have lived out there. Yeah. So it's exciting. Crazy. It is nerve-wracking, not gonna lie. Like, but thankfully, I'm like, when people think about moving, I'm not gonna move all my stuff from here. So it's not gonna be that complicated, but it's gonna be into a furnished area where everything's already set, and I'll just kind of have my stuff.
You're just like ready like a turnkey type of situation.
Exactly.
I don't think I've ever thought or even considered moving far. I remember when I was like in Sacramento.
Okay.
Yeah, Sacramento for my fellowship, and it was just hard for me to like conceptualize a life without like my family like at arm's reach.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like I would not. I guess I could because I did do it, but I would prefer not to live too far from my family.
I absolutely think about my family a lot too. But what
I feel like one thing I will say too, Latinas that like want to stay like in wherever the fuck their family.
I feel that because you're being realistic. I feel like you'll be lonely after a while.
I think one thing about
hard to make friends as an adult.
Oh, absolutely. One thing about having like being close to your family, the way I see it, it's like my mom is healthy right now, my father's healthy, my brothers are healthy. This is an opportunity I can take for myself. And come back, you know. If they were sick, something was wrong, absolutely, I would be here 100%. But I feel like this is an opportunity and a blessing to have. Because
you don't know what tomorrow holds.
They're okay right now.
And they have the support.
And again, exactly. If something does happen, you know, I redirect my life to something else. But I just go with what life gives me.
Yeah, and you're young. I feel like that's one thing, like, it's good to do things. I mean, you don't have to because everyone has their own journey, you know, but it's cool to do things when you're super young because like, you know, you don't have all these responsibilities. Like how she said, your family are usually, you know, pretty healthy at that age. Like, you know, you reach an age where sometimes like your family members do get sick and you kind of like your whole focus switches to I have to take care of my mom, you know, or I have to, you know.
And I tell my mom that too all the time. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna take care of you. Like, just know that, like, you're gonna be in good hands.
Hey, she's gonna be in good company.
In good company. Whoa. Yeah, it's just, and honestly, it's all having a positive mindset too. Yeah. You know, we can always think like my mom can sometimes tend to think a little too negative about life, as in things like, but this can happen, but this can happen, but this can happen to you. But I'm like, but these positive things can happen to me, though.
Yeah, you know? And you cannot live in fear.
You can't live in
fear. Fear will set you up, will self-sabotage you, will set you back. Like, no, fear is just the worst thing.
Do you ever think about, like, when you were young and you would have, like, those fears about, like, your future?
Yeah, I would always stress about it. For me, I was just more like the money, like stability, you know, because like I've never been a little girl and was like, oh, I want to marry a man that's going to take care of me. That has never crossed my mind ever. So I've always been very like kind of anxious, like, oh my God, like, am I going to get a good job? Like, am I going to be able to afford the lifestyle that I want to have? Am I going to, you know? And now that I'm at this age, like, I feel more, like, relaxed because I'm like, okay, like, I'm doing good. I made some good choices, like, were they all great? No, you know, but I've made some good choices where I feel comfortable. I feel content with where I'm at right now. Yeah. And I'm not too scared of the future as, you know, when I was in high school and I was really even worrying about, like, what college am I going to go to, you know? Like,
it's stressing. And
it's nerve-wracking.
I think my biggest fear has always been health. I want to make sure my family's always healthy. I think at the minute I found out that, you know, my mom's going through this, or it turns out that she's diagnosed with, that's going to, like, shatter me, you know, and I pray every single day for my parents' health, for my family's health, for my health. Like you said, tomorrow's never promised, but that's my biggest fear. And then, again, this is, I'm saying, like, when I think about opportunities I'm going to take in life, I think about my family first. You know, I think about how are they doing? How are they doing? They're okay right now. Okay, let me take this opportunity for myself. And then I come back, you know? Yeah. But what's your biggest fear?
I feel like for me, my biggest fear, I know it sounds crazy, but when I was little, I swore up and down I was going to be an anesthesiologist. Shout out to Dr. 90210 because I really thought I was going to be putting bitches to sleep, you know? But, like, for me, it wasn't when I was young. It was kind of when I guess young, but, like, high school. Yeah. When I transitioned to the college and I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do in my life. And I feel like that's been my biggest fear is, like, I didn't know what career shift I was going to do. Yeah. And I can truthfully say, like, these last 2 weeks have felt like an alignment. I have felt like I'm making little me big proud. Like, I feel like you know, when you, I showed Evan, like, my testimony. I testified for my first bill that we wrote, we put it down, and I was so nervous, like you were saying, like, sometimes you're put in spaces and you feel like you're not enough. Like, you're not smart enough, you don't have the capacity.
The imposter syndrome that we all feel.
And I feel like I testified, I did great. Then 2 days later, I was in DC again, like, being in spaces with, like, staffers from Congress, and being able to be, like, you know, in the U.S. Senate building, the House of Representatives. Like, I just felt, like, so proud of me, you know? I felt like for so long.
And you think about it, you're like, I represent my family.
Yeah,
you know,
I even took my Honduras bag. I took my Honduras bag because I'm like, you know what? If someone asked me, like, I want to be like, oh, they're like, oh, you like your bag? Thank you. I'm from Honduras. Like, I took it. And there was actually a lady there who had, like, her Black Girl Magic shirt. And I'm like, you know what? We're here today to represent, you know? Like, because I just feel like, for so long, I was so scared I was not going to amount to anything. And I felt like when I was so young, people always thought I would be successful. Like, I never was a kid where teachers told me, like, otherwise, you know? So I felt like I wasn't going to amount to what others expected me to. And now I feel like I'm not there, but I'm in a really great place. Like, I have a good job. You know, I'm traveling. Like, I'm, again, being in spaces
that are uncomfortable,
and I thought I wasn't deserving. But I deserve it. You have to tell yourself you deserve it. Like, why don't I deserve to be here? Like, I'm a first gen. I came from, you know, a working class family, single household. Like, I deserve to be there just as much as the person who came from an elite white school and got all the tutoring.
And to be honest, bitch, that's, like, inspirational. Because, you know, you're a Latina, you know, first generation, like, you know, you're
my mom came here and picked cotton and grapes.
Exactly.
Like,
bitch, honestly, and I love sharing that story. Honestly, I've met so many people where they, you know, they've had it already grown up, and I'm like, I'm not embarrassed to say, you know what, my dad actually really came here, started from scratch. He had nothing, you know, he literally had to build himself up. And now when I go present somewhere in a company, I'm like, I represent, this is what they built. They established me. And now I'm going to give back to them, you know. It's a very emotional feeling, because you think about it, it's like, it was not easy for them to be here.
All those sacrifices they made.
Everything.
All those
the
sacrifices.
Dreams they gave up so that we could live.
Yeah, so that we can have more opportunities, you know, and be in those spaces that
dude, those sacrifices, it's just like, as Latinos, dude, imagine us, we probably don't get discriminated as much as, but dude, I'm sure my parents had a lot of discrimination.
Their generation.
Go back to this. It's just like, it wasn't easy being here. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. It's like, you really don't know until you're in someone's actual footsteps to understand. You know, and again, I don't understand because I was in those footsteps, but I hear and I see them. And I'm like, you know what? I know it wasn't easy. And I see my dad now kind of like talking about his stories, how he struggled through this, through that. And I'm like, but it's inspiring. It pushes me more because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bring even more to the table than what you bought, because I want to show you what you created.
You want to say thank you, you know?
And it's like, you were able to do a lot more with a lot less.
Yes.
So it's like, I have a full opportunity here. Let me take advantage of it, you know? And I think for a lot of us, like, our childhood, it's like, when you're little, you think, like, life happened to me, you know? Or, like, things happen in my life. But it's like, when you grow up, it's like, no, you know, like, things happen, but life happens more. Like, we're able to dictate our choices. I feel like we're in a phase right now where it's like, it's no longer what happened to us, but it's like, what are we doing next with the things that have occurred to us? How are we pushing forward despite our past?
Exactly.
And it's also sometimes like, it's for your own good, you know, like, you might think of it when you're little, like, fuck, you know, I don't have what this person has, I don't have what that, but because you don't have those things, that shit motivates you to get it. You get me? Like, because if you see people that kind of had everything, they don't have the same motivation and ambition that y'all have, because they don't know what it's like not to have it. Yeah, they don't value it. So I feel like everything happens for you, never to you, you know? And as you grow older, you start to realize, like, bro, I have control of my fucking life. I can turn my trauma into a story, into an inspiration, into something, you know?
To something and to others.
Yeah, and then when you see others in other situations similar to you, you can tell them your story and tell them, look, I did it, you can fucking do it, you know? Like, you just gotta stop putting fears and excuses in your head, and because your mind is powerful. Your mind can fuck you up, or it can do it for you.
It can literally self-sabotage you to a point where you're just like, I don't deserve to be here. I don't. Like, these people are meant to be here. They're smarter than me. They're better than me. But we forget to recognize our skills. You know, we bring so much to this table. What would this place look without me? You know, that's the way you should say things. It's like, I bring so much to my company, to the people I help, to the people around me. Like that's you bring value. You're valuable.
Yeah.
And think about it. They chose you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they chose us as we are, as we come. And a lot of the times I think we expect, or we're like, oh, I need to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay to learn. I feel like
it's okay to fail. It's okay to fuck up.
Yep.
It's always for you. Like never look at failure like, oh, this is the end. It's always the beginning. Like this is just my stepping stone to where I'm gonna get at.
Dude, like a little quote that helped me through like my job career and everything. It's like every time I failed or I got rejected from anything, I'd just be like, rejection is redirection. Yeah. You know what? And every time I got rejected from somewhere I really wanted, it redirected me to somewhere else, and I'm like, well, I didn't know I needed this, and I want this now. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, as I'm redirecting my life, I'm beginning from scratch, and I'm starting a new role, I'm starting a new position, and I'm building this pavement for myself and saying, yep, this was meant for me.
Yeah. Like, I remember one time, like, years ago, I got let go from this job, and I remember I was crying, you know, I was just, because, like, I don't take failure that easy, especially when, like, I take a lot of, like, pride in my work, but it was because I called off for EDC, you know, like, so they were just like, nah, and they let me go, and I remember I was just, like, so sad, and I felt like shit, but, you know, I look back, and it was for me, like, because if not, I would have just stayed there, you know, but, you know, they let go of me from there, and I got a better job, and then I got another better job, so it's, like, everything happens for you, you know, like,
and better opportunities come.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, like you said, like sometimes those failures really help us align to what we're supposed to be.
Yeah, they're kind of pushing us to that direction.
Yeah, because I remember too, like when I quit my fucking job and like I was an intern and I was just like, dang, how am I gonna pay for stuff? Like I literally like quit my job. Like, but I feel had I not quit my job, had I not moved to Sacramento, I don't believe I would be where I'm at today. Yeah. So, like, I had to eat shit and work through it to value where I'm at.
And that's
today.
the thing. It's like, if you're not failing, you're not growing.
Yeah. I feel like that was hard for me to grasp. The idea that, like, failure isn't always a bad thing.
It's the ego that fucks with you. When you're too in your ego, you can't see the bigger picture. You know, like you're too focused on the little things that don't matter.
Right.
So it's like when you get out of your ego and you just start to see yourself as a human, as everyone else, you know, and you start to like, you know,
put value in
yourself and be more kind to yourself. Like, you know, we all fuck up.
How do you kill your ego? Or how do you quiet your ego? Moments like
I would say quiet your ego. I think life experiences I feel like, to be honest, like that's my own personal experience. There's people that just hear other people speak and they get motivated and they're like, oh, I want to do that. Me personally, I'm one of those bitches that have to go through it, you know, like I have to learn the hard way. Like, so I feel like my ego has been killed from just life experiences, like situations that I'm in, and you know, back in the day I would talk shit like, oh, I would do this and that, and then you're put in that situation and then you do the shit that you said you wouldn't do, and you know, and you look back and you realize like, damn, maybe I'm not better than the next person. Maybe we're all
maybe I should shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I shut the fuck up and, you know, eat my meal, you know, like
maybe Evelyn should shut up and I should take advantage. No, that I feel like how do you quiet your ego, Evelyn?
I don't know. Ego as in
like those instances where you like fail but you're like trying not to be yourself, you're trying to learn from it.
It's so crazy. I take failure really good. Like I'm like, oh shoot. I laugh about it a lot. And like, man, I can't believe I did this, and I'm like, whatever, I'll learn next time. But I honestly don't think my ego really gets in my way a lot of things. I'm also not very I don't beat myself up if I fail. I'm like, shoot. I'm like, oh shoot. Maybe I'll try again tomorrow. And I think that's a beautiful thing to have. I think that's a beautiful thing about that, because I mean, I overthink. I can tend to overthink stuff, but when it comes to my ego, I'm not gonna beat myself up. Okay, I take that back. Actually, I'm all thinking, like, oh shit, I do beat myself up from thoughts, but I don't know if it would be ego.
I feel like yes, because
your ego is broad.
Where it hurts that you failed.
It's kind of like
is ego part like self-sabotaging?
Ego is very self-sabotage.
Okay, then absolutely.
It's kind of like pride. Pride is part of ego.
See, like, so that's the thing. So I guess ego is a very vague thing, right? Because pride, I have no pride. Yeah. Like if I tell you if I want to say sorry to you,
definitely has no pride.
I definitely don't. It's true. Like I'm gonna be like, so I was like, dude, I didn't like that hurt my feelings. Like I'm sorry. It might not be my fault. Like I'll put my pride aside for anyone, because at the end of the day, I think there's so much pride in this world and in people, and I've experienced it where I'm like, I'm not going to talk to her because she did this. And there's just this pride that I'm like, why? Because they think they're going to go to a lower level by saying sorry? No. I see apologies and everything as something beautiful.
Yeah.
But people can see us like, you're weak. You're this.
I feel like me, when I'm trying to think professionally, I feel like professionally my bounce back is quick. Because I feel like I'm trying to think back my biggest failure. Whoa, which one we'll say in another fucking day. My biggest failure, but it's so crazy because I feel like I failed, and that day I took the day to like feel my failure and to like feel like the world crumbled on me. But then you know what? I was like, I have to move forward.
Yeah.
I feel like I like when you're in a job, you have to remember like things are not personal, they're professional. And my biggest tip, because I do work in politics, is like it's always professional, never personal, because you don't understand, like when you're in these spaces with people who have a lot of authority, people who really matter, people who have significance, and you're just someone insignificant to them, right? Because we matter in our lives, but in a professional setting, maybe you're not that important, regardless if you're in a senior role or not. Don't carry that with you, because you can always evolve. You can always grow from your failures. But you will never be the failure that they saw today, because you'll never see me down where the hell I was again. I will come back up, and I'll be like a phoenix, and I will rise through the ashes, through the burn, through the failure, through the scars. I will come up, and I will come back stronger. Because life is all about evolution. I'm not going to be who I am today. If here in 10 years I'm still the same, I failed me. But if here in 10 years I'm better, then I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly.
And that's just how I feel about life. Like, I'm never going to let one moment be definitive of who I am.
You're not going to stay stagnant. You're just going to continuously grow. You're going to grow, like you said, flourish, evolve. You have to put yourself in these uncomfortable spaces to realize, like, oh, shoot, I can see myself learning. I can see myself changing. Like, you being in DC these last 2 weeks or something, you felt this change in you. You felt this energy off of you where you're like, dang, I am evolving, I'm learning. And you're with these big people, the big dogs, and you're like, holy crap, I'm in this room with them, and I'm learning with them, and I'm gonna be like them. I might even be better than them.
Oh.
Yeah, and like I said, like you keep moving forward, you keep evolving. But at the end of the day, too, you know, we're also in a society where we're just like hustle, because that's what we've learned to be. But we also have to realize it is okay to rest. It is okay to be like, you know what? I deserve myself my mental break, my mental health, physical health. We need breaks from reality sometimes, because it can be so tiring in this world.
It's okay. It's not lazy.
It's not lazy. It's definitely not lazy. Like, because it's society normally sees it like that. When I was in Europe, I'm like, I felt like I had to be on top of stuff. I was like, boom, boom, boom. I got to go to this, and that. But it's like, everyone's just like slower pace. It's like, hey, relax.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shoot, like I don't even realize that, but now it's became a norm in me. Not norm, I wouldn't say a norm, but it's been in me where I'm like, okay, I have to get this done by this time. Let's work. But we deserve a break.
Yeah. And it is very American to just be so much about like work, you know?
It's American to live to work.
Yeah.
But we should work to live.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And that's basically what I'm trying to do. Like, I just been trying to take life more easy. Like, I'm trying to be more easy on myself, because I feel like I've always been very hard on myself, and I'm just over that. Like, I'm over being tough on myself. I'm over tripping over the little
realize,
things.
like, for what? Why am I self-sabotaging me for what? Yeah. It doesn't get me anywhere. And then you go back to reality, and you're just like, all right, it wasn't even that bad. Like, it wasn't as big of a deal that I thought it was.
Yeah. I feel like I do realize, like, when I think of, like, okay, those times where I'm like, oh my God, I'm stressing. It's like, the things that I'm stressing the most about are so insignificant. When, like, I'm dealing with it, I'm like, okay, it wasn't even that big deal. It's like, we make things, like, we emphasize things, and we make them bigger than what they are.
Yep.
And sometimes we just need to peel back and realize, like, okay, how can I solve this?
Yeah.
And let's look at it on a granular level, so it's not so big. It's just like, what's the issue? What's the most simple way to solve it? Boom, and that's it. Like,
there's always a solution to things, and if there isn't, like, there's a plan B.
Well, if there's a will, there's a way, you know? Like, nothing's impossible. It's just how bad do you want it, you know? Exactly. But I think, like, you know, being, like, depression is just one of those things where, like, it really does fuck you up sometimes, you know?
It's so hard to get out from there.
Yeah. It's like even, like, to take a shower and get ready, it's, like, it feels like the biggest thing in the world, you know? And, like, it's crazy because, like you said, like, we make our problems bigger than they need to be. Because we get in our head about it. Exactly. Like, oh, this and that. When it's so easy. Like, you know, like, life is, honestly, if you really, really think about it, it's not that hard. but it's just our mind, you know?
Like you
it's
said, your brain and mind is so powerful. It
really
can literally
does.
crash you down to the floor and make you feel like you can't even get up.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like your brain is in a cage and it's literally screaming for help.
Dude.
But I feel like then you should like look at those things like, I did shower, I did get up, I did go to
Absolutely.
work.
Yeah.
That is a huge
It is.
win,
But that's the
know?
thing. It's like when you're in this mindset, it is very hard to get out of that mindset. Like I've had several friends that have been in my past have been extremely depressed, and to get them out of this hole, it never felt sufficient for me. Like I feel like I always wanted to help them and be there for them, but it never felt like enough.
Because you can't do anything.
You can't. No, and then that's when you realize, you know, they're in a different state of mind. Like they're depressed, but it's like you love these people so much too.
Yeah, you don't want to see them.
You don't want to see them like that. Exactly. But again, it's like it's easier said than done. You know, dude, just get up and like shower and then check it off. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Because it is not easy to get up and tell a depressed person.
But allow those moments that are difficult, such as getting up, to be moments to champion for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because I do think like, you know, the quote, small step for mankind, or the small step for man, big step for mankind. So for you, that could be that big step, and let it be momentum. Like, don't, again, when a comparison is the thief of joy. Don't worry about someone climbing Mount Everest and it's hard for you to take a foot out of
and it's a
bed.
lot harder too now with social media.
It's okay for your step to be equally as important because it's your life.
Yeah. And with social media, we often see that too, where it's like, oh, this person is doing this person is doing that. Worry about what you're doing. Focus on your path.
Honest,
everyone's different. Everyone's different too. Like,
yeah.
dude, they weren't raised like you. They didn't grow up like you. Like why are we saying, oh, but they have this and I don't? They probably had something different when they were kids.
Yeah, I feel like what J. Cole says, there ain't nobody's life that's better than yours, you know? Like,
ain't no such thing as a life that's better than
yours.
It's
true. Like, you see other people's life, like what they post on social media, but let's be real. Yeah, we only post the best parts of our life. So, of course, if all you see is good parts of
me on close friends.
Yeah, on close friends, I'm like... And then
for real.
I'm like, hey world, how are you?
Yeah, but it's a facade. So never just like fully compare your life to other people's life, because like how they said, it's a thief of joy. Like, and to be honest, like it's all a facade. Like we all got our own problems. We all got little things. Even if you see rich people, like they got their own issues, you know? Like there's a reason why a lot of rich people are not fucking happy, you know, because of loneliness or other situations. Like
they don't have everything.
Yeah, they're still lacking in something. It can be good company, you know. It can be like good company.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they should tune in.
And you know what? Like, don't ever allow someone to make you feel small. Never let anyone make you feel less than because they already got what you got. Because you had to take a few steps to get there, and they're already there. Regardless if it took you 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, you are there, babe. And that is just as much value because that wasn't the same you from a year ago. And that's all I thought. I thought she must feel threatened that I couldn't meet her without having to still be her. Because she has more qualities, she has but I'm still me, you know what? And, and I'm not going to compare myself because I'm not her.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're all different. We all have different wants. Like, you know, there's women out there that really just want to be a stay-at-home mom, and they just that's what they want in life. Yeah. And that's my respect to those women. Like, we all have our own journey, and I feel like that's what makes life kind of beautiful because, you know, like we all kind of cherish different things, you know, and we value different things. So that's why it's like, just live your own life, do your own thing, like make your own rules. Like, you know, don't compare yourself to others. Like, don't worry about making others proud or happy. Like, just make yourself proud and happy because
just because someone's not on the same pathway as you doesn't mean they're in the wrong. Yeah. It's their own journey. You're in your own journey. Like, no one's in the right or wrong. You guys are just in your own journey. Yeah. In your own pathway, better said.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like, you know, we just want to make sure you guys leave today knowing that you're enough. Everything that you came here with, everything that you struggled here with, and everything that you'll continue to face. The fact that you woke up today and you're able to face that, whether it was a small step of getting out of bed or confronting your boss, finishing your project, being able to feel happy with yourself and content and satisfied with your life, that's enough. Your life is just like, as both of you said perfectly, it's your life. It's what you make of it. So
show up.
Make it a motherfucking party. You feel me? If that's what you like.
Yeah. If you don't like to party, you like to be lazy, hey, I'm like that too sometimes. I like to not do nothing. You know?
Hey, but you know what? Just show up. Show up for yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. I'm showing up for myself. I'm not here for my boss. I'm not here for this person. I'm showing up for myself, proving to yourself that you can do it. If someone else can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. We can all do it. We just have to switch our state of mind where this positive mindset. And I know, again, it's not easy. It's not. But it starts with small things, small tasks. Getting up and cleaning. If it was easy,
everyone would do it.
Yeah. Getting up, doing something small like clean.
I'm sorry. No, sorry, bitch. No, I was just going to say, like, romanticize your life. You know, like, you know, if you're a single person and you think about like, oh, if I had a partner, I would do this for them. I would buy them flowers. I would do that. Do that for yourself.
Honestly, a lot of things I do, how I picture my life. Sometimes I'm like, my life is a documentary. I'm being filmed right now. So, dude, I wake up and I'm out here running like in the mornings, and I'm like, woo, I'm coming in hot. No, and then I'm going back to back, and I'm just like, oh shoot, like I did all this. I worked out 2 times. I drank my tea. I read books. I worked like. It's not easy to do that. I'm gonna be honest, but it's about building that consistency, and I'm still working on it. But you want to come in with your best version of yourself.
Yeah, I think life, the point of life is not even to have a purpose, because to be honest, like a point is not even like for us to start this podcast or to be president or to reach these ambitious goals, because let's say that shit gets taken away from you. Yeah. What is left? Are you still gonna love yourself? You know, if they were to take all your accomplishments away and all the material things that you have, like a nice house, a nice car, would you still love yourself? You know? And that's why I feel like a lot of rich people are depressed, because they know deep down if they didn't have the shit that they have, they didn't accomplish the shit that they did, they probably wouldn't have the people around them, and they probably wouldn't love themselves as much as they do. You know?
Honestly, when you become rich, honestly, you do go through a lot of sacrifices too. You know, you have to start cutting people off. It literally becomes smaller. You know, what's that song from Drake? It's like, it's really sad up here, or what?
I mean, I don't feel bad for rich people.
It's only at the top. It's only at the top.
No, I like what you're saying, Chantal. I think you're saying is that it's just like they're putting value in what they have financially,
accomplished or material things. Yeah.
Who are you? And that's what you have to think. Who are you? Remove the material
from all those things.
Remove the
Do you
ego.
still love yourself?
Are you happy with you?
Are you still happy with yourself? And that's why character.
Are you happy with yourself in this like lonely room now? You did everything you got. You got everything you wanted. You did everything that you can. But now you're in this room alone. Are you happy with yourself?
Yeah, like, and that I think that's why it comes down to character is most important, and that's why life, like I said, it's not about purpose, about being better every day.
I love that.
You know?
The character. I've heard about that too.
Yeah, it's about being kind. It's about looking at previous days and being like, oh, I didn't like that I did that. Let me not do that again. To be better. You know,
being kind. I think that's like the biggest key. Being kind.
Yeah,
being kind to yourself. Being kind to
nice.
It doesn't.
Just being kind.
But also being understanding. You know, understanding others, understanding your friends when they're going through something. It's understanding and acknowledging, like, hey, you're not okay, and I understand that, but I am here for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
And don't be afraid of like experiences in life, because I feel like experiences what makes you wise. Experiences what makes you grow. Like, you know, like don't be afraid to, you know, even try new food or to go somewhere where you wouldn't think you would go. Like, don't be fearful in life. Like, I know as women, it's kind of hard not to be fearful, because like, bro, if I'm somewhere by myself in the parking lot, like I'm locking my doors, like I'm looking behind me, like
pepper spray.
Yeah, and like, you know what? I feel like my first DC trip, I was alone, and I was doing a lot of like going out to eat alone. I was walking around alone, and that was the first time I could truly say I put myself in a situation where I was alone, and I had to make like the most of me. Yeah. So I feel like I did have to sit and think.
Romanticize your life, like you said.
Do I like what I'm doing? Do I feel happy with like strolling around? What do I want to do for me?
Yeah. Do I like being alone with myself?
Yeah.
Do I like my own company?
And I did. I think I left out, and I was like, wow, my first solo trip. And I know you went on a solo trip, and I'm like,
I love solo trips.
I love it. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing to have a moment for me. Yeah. And to eat the food that I want, enjoy my company, and I felt value in me.
And you probably grew more self-love for yourself after that trip, because you're like, damn, I enjoyed that, and it was just with myself, you know?
That's probably why I went.
I feel like, honestly, personally, I struggle with that. I mean, I live with my roommate, but at the end of the day, I'm in my room by myself with the 4 walls and my thoughts all the time. I move it to a new city. I don't know anyone. I do, honestly, I work out by myself. I go to a coffee shop by myself. I romanticize my life, like you said. Sometimes I go to Barnes and Nobles and I'll just sit there and read some books. Yeah. And I do value that time, but I'm not going to lie. It gets lonely and I'm just like, why do I feel so alone? Why does it feel like I'm missing something? But again, that's me getting comfortable in myself, with myself, and on my own. Yeah. But it's a matter of practicing these small things, you know? Romanticize your life. I love saying that a lot now because you literally... Your movie is documentary, you know?
Yeah, be the main character.
Be the main character. Go shop. Go to movies by yourself. I was actually going to go to the movies by myself last time, but I was like, you know what? I'm not trying to cry, so I'm going to just go and try it another time. But
bitch, I'll fall asleep. The movies and me do not go. Yeah, no. I'm too grown for that. I'll be like... in the middle of the movie, like.
But other than that, yeah, I think we are more in tune with ourselves. We're loving ourselves, and I'm super excited for us. I think we're all at this age where we're quite confused with our purpose, like you said. It's not meant for us to have a purpose, whether it is or not. But we don't have that perfect life that every social media person has. We have our own problems. We go through things. It's not easy, but we're showing up for ourselves. We're making the best that we can for ourselves.
But it's just about being proud of yourself. Like how I mentioned, it's those little steps that you make, you know, like just be proud that you're up and doing it, you know, especially like I give it to those that have kids. Like, damn, bro, I be really tripping out. Like, dude, I'm struggling with myself sometimes, you know, like I couldn't imagine like going through what I'm going through and having a kid.
Shout out to the parents that are putting in that work and discovering them as they build up the little people.
No, I'm telling you, I have so much respect for people that are like around my age, or even just in general people that have kids. Like, I feel like I'm like such a selfless, such a selfless role, like to be a mom, to be a dad, or to be a guardian. Like it's my respects. Like the older I get, the more I appreciate like parents and people, because I'm just like, damn, dude, like. It's hard. It's so hard. It really is.
Yeah, guys. At the end of the day, I feel like our messaging today is like, life is what you make of it. Find value in yourself. Take risks, and don't worry about what the next is doing, because there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. I love that. Shout out to J. Cole. Shout out to J. Cole. Shout out to Chantel for also referencing that, because I'm gonna go home with that. So. Remember that. Hey, life is what you make of it. So make sure that you're in good company.
Just keep Hey, it was that from Nemo. Hey, I'm a Disney fan. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
You'll eventually get there.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, life is a journey, so enjoy it as you motherfucking go.
Make that journey a party, baby. Make yourself. You deserve to be here. So. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If your homegirl needs it, if your homeboy needs it, then
don't forget to share.
Make sure you pick it up with us. So like, share, subscribe, comment down below.
And our socials will be up here. Bye, everyone.
Bye.